Welcome to the Aviation Insurance Podcast, the podcast that helps aircraft owners and aviation businesses learn and understand the complex world of aviation insurance and risk management. From the basic principles of aviation insurance to risk management techniques and updates on the aviation insurance market, the Aviation Insurance Podcast is your guide to traverse the world of aviation insurance. Now, here's your host, Tim Bonnell.
Well, welcome to the Aviation Insurance Podcast, where we've looked at the fundamentals of aircraft insurance and even some aviation general liability and related coverages. And today I wanted to talk about a subject that we hear more and more about in business aviation operations, but in other related fields of aviation, because it's designed to reduce risk and improve safety. And that is a safety management system, or SMS. I'm sure that if you've read any aviation periodical over the course of the last 10 or 15 years, you've seen this come up. And so I just wanted to touch base and just kind of give a quick overview for those of you who do not know or understand what an active safety management system looks like, what are the elements of it, and why is it important. And, at its core, a safety management system is a combination of risk management and quality management. Oftentimes an organization will have a risk manager and a quality assurance manager or a safety officer involved in a process like this, depending on the size of the organization. But there are tools that can help even individual aircraft owners to have a level of a safety management system. There are corporations that all they do is help people implement SMS systems. Flightplan.com has an online version of an SMS that they utilize and implement with their software services. So there's a lot of opportunities out there, but again, it's a risk management and quality assurance program. Now, it is built on four pillars or four fundamental areas is are the key components of a typical safety management system, but it's ultimately it starts with a top-down commitment from the CEO, the board on down. This has to be really something that is owned by, supported by, and led by all members of the team, starting from the top down at the bottom up. And so that is done, and the safety culture is generated starting with that first primary pillar, or that first primary area of the safety management system program, and that is the safety policy and objective. And this is the portion of the document that outlines what the safety management system is, why it's in place, what are some of the key policies and objectives that will be occurring in the overarching SMS program. And it is ultimately, signed and sealed and delivered from the CEO on down. This is who we as an organization are from a terms of safety and our culture, and it's our commitment to following these processes and procedures to obtain these objectives of high levels of safety, zero accidents, whatever it may be. So the safety policy and objective is the very first key and pillar, and it's got to be bought in from the top on down, and then hopefully from the bottom up. The second main pillar of an SMS system is the safety risk management process. We've talked about risk management on this and some of our other podcasts in the past. That process of evaluating the hazards and assigning and mitigating them. That process of risk management, there's certain things that need to happen within an organization when it comes to flight operations, ground operations. These are the processes we're going to do to evaluate the safety and risk of the operations we're going to be conducting and how we're going to respond to those particular issues. So that's kind of outlined in that safety and risk management process, which is the second pillar of the SMS program. The third is the safety assurance portion or pillar. So the first two things kind of establish the objectives and policies. It outlines the safety risk management process. The safety assurance it says, how are we doing with this, right? So for charter operators, that may be an audit with a Wyvern or with the Flight Safety Foundation, one of these organizations that do charter audits. It could be data driven based on the number of reports. It could be an audit from OSHA or another organization that focuses on auditing the various operations that your organization may take part in. But that'll help us verify from a data-driven perspective what it is that's going well and not going well. We can evaluate how well it's working and then adjust accordingly. So that assurance part verifies that the policies, objectives, and strategies in place. It just sees how they're working, good or bad. And because it's an active system, it informs what needs to be changed. A safety management system is one that can be improved. It's one that should be a living, breathing, and growing organization as the feedback warrants. So that's the first three: safety policy and objectives, safety risk management, safety assurance, and the final part is safety promotion. Right? When we win, we want to highlight these things. Here is what this is doing. We want to have a big sign that says so many accident-free days or flying hours or whatever it might be. Maybe it's some incentives to employees for a safety record. Obviously just bringing it up in team meetings, honoring that, these are the actions we want to do. Here's what we're doing. Here's the result. And we just want to celebrate, promote all that's happening through the safety management system. Here is why it's been done. This is the evidence. It's the process is working, and kudos. Here's what it's been doing. Because when it's promoted and celebrated from the top down and bottom up, then it's something everyone's going to buy into. And it goes all of these into creating that safety culture, one that reduces accidents and losses, which from an insurance perspective means ideally lower premiums. Again, everyone has to play their part because this is an industry-wide pool and then beyond. But a safety management system is a great way to help have an organized way with clear objectives to mitigate risk for aviation operations. And these are kind of the core pillars. Again, if this is something you're not doing, that doesn't have to be a large corporate flight program in order to do this. It can be done at a small level, and it can improve any aviation operations, flight or ground. And so it's something I'd encourage you to look into. Again, you can, look online. You can look at the aviation organizations like NBAA, NATA, who has some ground auditing programs, along with the International Business Aviation Organization there, the ground handling portion, IBAC. So there's a lot of resources out there for you if you want to look into a safety management system. Regardless of your size, there's something that is size appropriate for you, and it's something that can help mitigate your risk and help improve your insurance program. So that is safety management systems. Well, that's it for this episode. Join us again next time as we continue navigating the waypoints in aviation insurance. Until then, enjoy clear skies and unlimited visibility.
Thanks for listening to the Aviation Insurance Podcast. If you found this episode of value, please share it with someone who would benefit from this information. Don't forget to subscribe in your podcast player so you don't miss any new episodes, and to help our show have more impact. This episode is brought to you by Aeris Insurance Solutions, your flight plan for navigating the turbulence of aviation insurance. For more information, visit aerisinsurance.com. That is www.aerisinsurance.com. Disclaimer: these episodes are for educational purposes only, and due to the changing regulatory and legal nature of the business, some information may change over time. Having a well-educated and experienced aviation insurance broker on your team is an absolute requirement to success in business and for managing your aircraft and aviation business risks.